Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Love Without Borders, Season 1, Episode 7. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it, honey, because this episode right here, listen to me. If y'all are just watching this review for something to watch, please go watch Love Without Borders. It is better than Married at First Sight. It is only 1 hour. The people are unhinged. It is must-see TV. Now, I don't like this matchmaker playing with people's lives like she is. But, honey, if we can watch Married at First Sight for 2 hours every Wednesday night and Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper or whatever they got going on over there, the way they putting these people together, please go watch Love Without Borders. This right here is a fool, child. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Naim and Chandra, 62 days left on the visa. Child, it should be a day left, okay? Please get out as soon as you can, Naim. So Chandra is having a FaceTime call with Erica, who is the matchmaker. And so she asks how it's going. And she's like, it's really weird. It's not going very good. Like, personality wise, we don't match. Like, he just jokes too much. I think it's like different cultures. No, ma'am. Don't try to blame it on the cultures. You just don't have a sense of humor, and that's point blank in the period. I bet if it were that ex and he was joking, then it would be okay. Girl, anyway. So then they pan over to Naim, and he's telling the matchmaker as well about the ex-boyfriend, how he slept in the same bed, how he was the Uber driver, and Erica just sitting there looking like, say what now? Back over with Chandra, she lying, pretending to be naive, talking about, I saw him as a friend. It's nothing. He gives me advices. Well, he don't need to give you advices. He don't need to give you nothing. She was like, yeah, he's just around. Like, I know now that he has feelings for me, but not on my end. I don't have any feelings for him. Girl, please. You knew that man still wanted you. You probably did all this to make him jealous. I'm not trusting none of it, okay? Not none of it. So she claims she only wants him as a friend. So Erica is like, listen, I'm not going to blow smoke up your behind. This right here is a mess, okay? This is a fool, okay? It's a full-on fool. She wants Chandra to have a conversation with herself because she's angry and she feels like she sent Naim over because Chandra needed a strong and compassionate man. And that's why she sent him over there. And she wants Chandra to keep her heart open to the process and see that there are things that she needs to examine. Yeah, like therapy. Ma'am, who casted you as the matchmaker? What are your credentials? Where's your LinkedIn, honey? I need to see it because I feel like you placed these people together for the drama of it all. So Chandra was like, yeah, I admit it was a bad call and even worse that he stayed over. Listen, Naim, you do not deserve that. Joking or not, whether you make a few jokey jokes, that does not warrant the way that this woman has been treating him. Me personally, I would be done. But baby, that's just me. Moving forward. So after her call with Erica, they go out to see the lights. This is the thing about Chandra. She always does something bad and then takes him for a night on the town. Ma'am, treat him well during the day. Stop acting like you don't have no sense. So they go out to see the lights and spend a little time together. So they sit down on this bench. So she starts to tell him that, to basically give her another chance. Her and Enrique, they aren't talking anymore. She really wants to get to know him better. And she feels like she's committed to the process and getting to know him and wants to treat him nice and wants to move forward. So Naim was like, I think that that's very thoughtful of you. I'm very thankful for the conversation. He appreciates her saying what she said. He feels like the matchmaker gave them some great tools and advice to put into play, and it's allowing them to get to a better place and build a true friendship. Yes, that's all y'all have is a friendship, okay? Because Chandra is not ready for a relationship at all, and she doesn't like you, and there's no way to try to force it. Chandra is not physically attracted to Naim. That's what we need to start with, okay? She's not physically attracted to him. So anything that he does is going to get on her nerves. Her central nervous system was bothered when he got off that plane. Moving forward. Gerline and Shiraz, child. So the matchmaker stops by to see him, right? So she asks them where they are with each other now. So Shiraz tells her about the equal rights argument that they had. And Gerline was like, well, wait a minute. Gerline, let him finish. So Gerline said she was upset because he doesn't see things outside of his own personal experience. And it wasn't an argument, it was a conversation. And she didn't think that he would try to invalidate what she was saying and other people's experiences because his experience was one way. Although I understand that Gerline wants to have this conversation, I don't think it was the right time to talk about it. You're coming from a Christmas party. Both of you have been drinking. It just wasn't the right time. You weren't in the right frame of mind. Like, you don't have those kinds of serious conversations in that type of setting. So Shiraz said, well, she started recording me, and that's what really made me upset. She was like, yeah, well, I was recording because, we were both drunk and we wanted to revisit it. And if it bothered you, you could have said that. But why were you recording to begin with? Why were you talking about this anyway? Like, why? The thing that I cannot stand about Gerline is she does not take responsibility for anything that she does. She has been gaslighting Shiraz since she stepped foot in the family's apartment. Ma'am, what is wrong with you? So then Erica, the matchmaker, she looks at Shiraz and tells him, if something is bothering you, you need to use your voice. Why? Why should he use his voice? Gerline likes to argue and she's going to twist it around. She's too much at all times. Like, you need to be correcting Gerline about this being the wrong time and the wrong setting for that type of conversation. Not looking at him, telling him, use your words. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So then Erica asked, so where are you now? He said, there's no romantic connection. I feel like we can only be friends. And she's like, yeah, there's no romance. There's no chemistry. There's no connection. So Erica tells Gerline, listen, I take mental health very seriously. And I was wondering why she said that. And I'm going to tell y'all a little bit later. She said, I take mental health very seriously, Sir Gerline. You should go home. Well, baby, what's she say that for? Gerline said, no, I feel like that's not fair. It's not because of my mental health that I'm going home. You need to state it plain. It's because there's no connection. That needs to be documented, that it's not because of my mental health. Gerline, no matter what the reason, you're leaving. Adios, amigas. Honey, hit the door. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Don't come back around here no more. It isn't working, and it's best for the both of you. It's probably for his mental health. I know it's for mine. Child, please go. At this point, Gerline is just arguing just to argue. You weren't happy, so you're leaving. If you wanted a free vacation, just say that, because you need to go. So Erica looks at her and she says, well, you told me yesterday that you wanted to go home. So baby, they play the tape back. They show her plainly stating to Erica, the matchmaker, for my mental health, I just feel like I should go home. It's just not happening. Gerline, she is giving you what you want, and you still find a way to argue. I don't understand how that works, honey. If you want to ever be with anybody, and I do mean anybody, you need intense therapy. Why is it that you argue so much? Shout out to Candy, honey. Why are you arguing about arguing? This just don't make no sense. Erica was like, listen, I'm sorry that the process wasn't what you wanted it to be, but you're going home. So in the confessional, Gerline was like, it just makes me feel like I'm not good enough. It just hurts. How does it hurt? You asked to go home. I don't have time for this. Moving forward. She's like, I just feel like I'm not enough. No, you're too much at all times. You're one of the most argumentative people that I've seen on TV in a while. You have a contradiction about everything. Nobody can sustain a relationship with a person like that. You need to go back to America. You need to get yourself in some therapy, honey. Actually text BetterHelp on the plane and get it together. Dana Montana and Brian. So Dana goes to meet Jack, and that's her Ireland friend, and she met him at the farmer's market. He's going to let her borrow some equipment. She said there's a pretty big music scene in Ireland, so she's going to perform some of the songs that she's written. Honey, I know that's right. That's a silver lining. At least showcase your talent on TV. Y'all gonna get these vocals. Me, 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 me. You, us, us, us. You go, girl. You go ahead and showcase them talents, honey. You done sold that van, ain't got nowhere to go back to. Child, you better showcase them vocals. And she actually sounded all right. I said, okay, Dana Montana. So here come Brian talking about, I'm seeing a side that I really like. Brian, no. Okay? Please shut up. Aaron and Mael. So they're having a call with the matchmaker. And Aaron's like, listen, we've been at this for like a month. So at what point do we tell you that we've tried? Honey, I've done all I can do. At what point do I tell you that? It's not going to work. So then she says, I feel like you guys are jumping the gun. I feel like you're having conversations about the romance too fast. So you mean to tell me that they're talking about the romance too fast, but not you forcing Aaron to get the sex started, to amp things up? That wasn't too fast? You created this whole mess. Had you not told Aaron to touch Mael, then we wouldn't be in this situation. So Mael takes the blame because he brought it up first. Listen, Mael, this is not your fault. At some point, you have to have a conversation to see if you are wasting your damn time. And you are. So there's nothing that you did that was wrong. So she tells Aaron to express himself to Mael and Mael to express himself to Aaron. So she tells Mael to say, Aaron, I'm here to get to know you. And for Aaron to say, Mael, I am here to grow out of my comfort zone. Ma'am, it doesn't matter how many mantras you ask them to repeat to each other. If the feelings aren't there, then they aren't there. This matchmaker is awful, honey. Now, that's my personal opinion, but she is just awful. She just doesn't want it to seem like all of her matches are a failure, and she ain't fooling me. So they go for a walk, right? And they're talking. And so Aaron tells him that he doesn't want to give up. Mael said, oh, okay, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was thinking too much in it. No, you were not wrong. You were right. Aaron does everything Erica says, but it's not his true feelings. He's not attracted to you either. Okay? He's just not that into you. And I know that hurts to hear, but you need to hear it. He said, no, I didn't close the door. I'm just at a place where it wasn't open for either of us to walk through it, and I just don't want to force us to go through it. Aaron, cut the crap, okay? Because you're starting to get on my nerves. Now, Mael does not deserve what you're doing. You are wasting this man's time and you're gaslighting him and trying to gaslight all of us, but you ain't fooling me. You do not like Mael in that way. So why don't you just say that? Now Mael is second guessing himself like, oh, I'm so stupid because, I was in my head and, I really like spending time with you. Do you like spending time with me? Here go Aaron. Yeah, I like spending time with you. I'm not buying it. Moving forward, Phil and Carmen. So they're going out with her friends and they meet up at this little nightclub type lounge vibe type of thing. And she's introducing him, right? So they're all ordering drinks and he orders water. So like, oh, you don't drink? He said, I do, but I cut back. I just cut back on drinking a lot. So Carmen in the confessional, she's like, yeah, him not drinking might be a problem because we like to party. Because we like to party. Hey. Shout out to Beyonce. Listen, why should he have a drink for you to have a good time? If he don't want to drink, then he don't have to drink. You and your little weirdo friends, he doesn't want to drink. So then he let them pressure him into drinking. Y'all, it was like a bad after school special. If you don't want to drink, you don't have to. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not a drinker. When I go out, they call me Miss Cranberry because they already know I'm going to get a cranberry on the rocks and I'm going to get it started in the middle of the dance floor. I'm going to be in the middle of the dance floor if nobody else is because I have a good time without needing alcohol. Now, I have to have some food, okay? Order me a spinach dip, some wings, some fries, extra sauce, and some ranch, and I'm good. But I don't need alcohol. And I'm not about to let anybody pressure me into drinking if I don't want to damn drink. So after he started feeling like an outsider / loser, according to these people, he orders some drinks. So they're drinking and whatnot. So they started talking about malaria. So one of her friends was like, yeah, I've had it like 40 times. And so Phil is trying to figure out like, what are the symptoms? He said sweating and you feel cold and, he's just giving them the symptoms, right? So Phil was like, well, can you transmit it through saliva? So Carmen was like, I don't know why he asking about that. He hasn't even tried to kiss me. And I was a little bit shocked that they haven't kissed yet, especially after they had that argument. You would think that they would kind of kiss and make up, literally. But he has not put his mouth on Carmen. Phil just want to be on TV, child. That's just point blank in the period. Moving forward, Naim and Chandra. So Naim comes in while she's working from home and tells Chandra that he's going to be getting her a new door. But he did ask for permission. He's like, are you okay with that? He's like, are you having any feelings about it? So she starts to cry and she's like, yeah. She tells him that her ex pushed her down the stairs, punched her in the face, and he punched the door. So when she sees the hole in the door, it reminds her of what she's been through. Well, Chandra, honey, you don't need to trauma bond with the door. We got to let the door go. It's a constant reminder. He said, I can sense that it's still a very sensitive thing and I don't want to rush you into doing it. And he, in his confessional, he said, as a clinical social worker, I wanted to help her to do some things that she might not see herself doing alone. And I thought that that was very thoughtful of him. Like thinking of how the trauma affects her, seeing that door. She's not ready for a relationship at all, but she did need someone to help push her along. Like, I feel like she's going to feel so much more relief when she doesn't have to see that door and relive that by it still being tore up. Like, girl, you got to let the door go. So she tells him at Christmas and New Year's Eve, it's really hard for her because she remembers a time where there were neighbors next door. There were a whole bunch of guys outside. The guys were looking at her and he turns and slaps her in front of everybody because the guys were looking at her. Let me tell you something, Chandra, I have been there. I have been in that very same situation. You really need to speak to somebody. And I blame whoever is the production company behind this show, because how did y'all think it was a good idea to place this woman that's clearly still going through things? Did y'all do any type of home visits or anything to see that this woman was living in the middle of her abusive situation and you bring in a stranger and insert here? Of course, she gonna be, this is just too much, honey. So he tells her that she didn't deserve it and she was the victim, and victims sometimes blame themselves. So in the confessional, she said her biggest fear is repeating the same mistake, and that's why she keeps looking for red flags in Naim. And I was just thinking, it makes sense now. I totally understand that because I repeated the same mistake back to back. It makes you angry. It makes you resentful towards anyone who tries to get close. If you've never been through it, then you probably wouldn't understand. But that made sense what she said. But I'm still giving her the side eye and whatnot. And I thought that he was very beautiful in that moment for caring for her. And she needed him to listen to her because I felt like she needed to release. She needed to let that out. But Naim is not your counselor. You need therapy. And Erica should have known that. Dana Montana and Brian. Dana Montana. So they sit down to eat. Side note, I wouldn't be doing nothing with Brian. Everything about him gets on my nerves. Do y'all hear me? Everything. I just thought I'd put that out there. So she wants him to help her write a song, and she feels that it's going to lighten the mood and it will help him get to know her a little bit better. The song was given very much nursery rhymes, honey, but it's good to see them doing something that she likes to do for a change. I can see these two being friends and her stopping by when she's in Ireland to say, hey, how you doing? But nothing romantic. Carmen and Phil. So he's back at Carmen's place, right? And so he calls his friend Stormy to fill her in on what's been going on since he's been there. So he tells her that they went out, but Carmen didn't come home last night. So he called, he texted, no answer. He trying to figure out if she all right. He thought they were going home together, but Carmen apparently went to the after hours spot. He said in America, you go together, you leave together. And she should have communicated with him, and I agree with that. She should have at least told you that she wasn't coming back. So his friend was like, well, do you think you fit into her life? I don't think he does. I feel like Carmen looks at Phil as lame. She don't like him like that. She kind of has this attitude like he better get in where he fit in. She's not making room for him. Child, she's basically hosting a foreign exchange student at this point. Now, if the roles were reversed and he didn't come back, it would have been a whole problem. At this point, y'all, all of these people are just on vacation. So let's just look at the vacation in Paris, the vacation in Panama, the vacation in Ireland, and the vacation in Ghana, child. Moving forward. Gurleen and Shiraz. So he's back home with his family and tells them that there was absolutely no romantic connection. He had been holding things in. He hadn't been telling them what I was doing, but he want to tell them now. He said after Erica left, she went to a producer, told them to take her mic off. She had some words with Erica outside the door. She was very upset, took her phone, went back into her room, got her things and left. Didn't say goodbye or nothing. Gurleen, that's rude as hell. And I know you are watching these episodes and I know you are probably watching what people are saying about you. That is rude. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You really need some healing. You do. You need to figure out why you're so combative. What are you so angry about? Like, this just don't make no sense. So his family was actually placing the blame on him. Well, his dad was. His dad was like, so, I mean, it was just a little misunderstanding. So why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? Dad, you don't know the half of it. She was not the person for him. Do you want your son to be happy or not? Like, why are you looking at him and blaming it on him? Child, that didn't make no sense to me. Naim and Chandra. So he has the door. It's time to change it. Okay, time to change the constant reminder of abuse. So she was like, I'm feeling sick to my stomach since the door is getting fixed. But I'm starting to see a different side of Naim, and I actually have feelings for him because he's a different person from before. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. You don't get to like him all of a sudden because he's fixing the door. Actually, he's always been that person. You just didn't give him a chance. So no, I don't believe those feelings are genuine. Girl, anywho. So she goes upstairs, sees the door all repaired. It's brand new. And she feels some relief. So Naim said, he wishes he could have seen this side of her earlier, but he does feel like she values him as a friend and someone that has helped her along on her healing journey. But that's not fair to you, and that's not what you were placed there for. You were brought there to find love because you're looking for it. Now, don't go on Married at First Sight, okay, Naim, because you don't want none of them problems. But I feel like that's unfair to you. Like, I'm happy he was able to help her let go of the constant reminder, but I feel like he got the short end of the stick. And that's just my opinion. That's just that on that. I said what I said and I ain't changing it. Aaron and Mael. So they're doing some sipping paint. And Mael thinks Aaron is flirting. No, Mael. Aaron is sending mixed signals. He ain't flirting with you, child. He's drawing penises, as Mael affectionately likes to call them. He's like, yeah, he keeps drawing a penis. Is it a penis or a penises? Child, whatever it is, he drawing them. He said that they both have a passion for them. Aaron loose off that wine, okay? He loose as a goose. Don't get me started. Full of that liquor when I step off in the party. He loose, but he still ain't feeling it, Mayo, so don't get any funny ideas, okay? On over to Shiraz. So Erica visits him again. Now that Gerline is gone, honey, the air has been cleared. The energy is more pure. And so she's asking him how he feels. He said, I feel lighter, and I actually feel like it all happened for the good. Indeed. So then Erica looks at him and she goes, well, I have a woman here for you. She came from America. Child, not Erica calling in the replacements. If I were Shiraz, I would politely decline. No, thank you. Okay, you have left a bad taste in my mouth. I do not trust your capabilities to match me. So therefore, and thus and such, I will be going the rest of this experiment alone. I know you guys have an obligation to film 10 episodes, but I'm out. Deuces. And that was the end of the episode. So, Shiraz, my condolences. Mael, child, Pola, tink tink. Phil, Carmen is a party girl, and it ain't gonna work. Y'all can be cool, but it ain't gonna be nothing romantic, okay? She doesn't respect you. I don't know what you got going on. So it's an absolute no. Chandra and Naim. Chandra, he is not your counselor. You do not have feelings for this man just because he fixed that dough. Dana Montana and Brian kick rocks with open-toed farmers' shoes on. And yeah, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. That pretty much sums it up for me. Thanks for coming. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace. I will see y'all tonight for Ready to Love.